Hello, welcome back to my Magic Garden. Let's talk about some stuff. Some stuff has changed since we were last here. Well, I've been here almost every day, but you haven't been here for a couple of weeks, and there have been some exciting changes. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a couple of things before we go into our talk about bay. Bay leaf or bay laurel is this big, huge tree that I have, and it's often used in wishing spells, protection spells, prophetic dreams, things like that. But I want to give you a couple of updates in regards to my garden because some changes have happened. So let me turn the camera around real quick. Okay, here we've got my sage. So this is this beautiful sage, and it's now in full bloom. Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be trimming some of this back and taking the trimmings and drying it and using it for spell work as well. Oh, and we just had somebody come into the garden. Welcome. I was on the phone with my friend Crimson the other day, and she says, there is an imp at your garden gate. And I said, this would not surprise me. This would not surprise me at all. But they are the keeper of this garden, and I think that they've been here for a very long time, and they have really enjoyed the things that I have planted. So they have blessed it, and it's been quite wonderful. So welcome, welcome. So what I showed you the beautiful sage blooming. It's just absolutely great. Let me show you from the other side. Go outside of the garden gate as well. Look at this. It's just huge. It's massive. Massive. And of course, we have this guy. This guy at the garden edge here, blessing everything. This is my chocolate mint. One of my favorite things is the chocolate mint, and I love it on a warm day. Just give it a little rub right here, and then you smell it. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, yeah, but my sage is like out of control here. So I'm going to give a little trim of that and then start drying that out, and we will talk about that next time. Also, my nasturtium. If you don't know what nasturtium is, I have these cool like lily pad type leaves, very, very neat. And they have these flowers that bloom, these orange and blackish kind of yellow and all kinds of, oh, here's a flower here. You can see them down there. They're beautiful. These nasturtium leaves are edible, so you can find them in beautiful salads. So that is just taking over. Look at how big that is. Huge, huge. I have cut back my arugula, and I've cut back my mustard greens because they were getting out of control and bolting. So here's mustard. So when you look at mustard in the bottle, this is what that really comes from right here. Let me see if I can get it up close. Let me turn that in. There we go. Come on, focus. Focus, focus. Let's see if I can get in there. Beautiful, beautiful little flowers. And they get real tall. So these guys were, let me back up again, back up. Ah, there we go. These guys get really, really tall. So when you cut them off, as you can see, look, people are like, oh my gosh, that's so aggressive that you did that cutting. But yeah, you know what, with lettuces, different kinds of greens like that, they love it. So you can keep cutting on the same plant and they will grow back again. So you see this little shoot right here? See that one? Beautiful. And then over here with my arugula, the same thing is happening. So where I chopped, there's more leaves coming up. Really neat. A friend of mine has given me some bok choy to plant. I'm going to be planting those. Here my carrots are finally doing some stuff. Little carrots coming up. Remember, they were just teeny tiny. You couldn't see them before. So now I'm seeing more sprouts coming up. We have planted some cilantro. We have planted our dill. Our dill's starting to get its bloom on. Our asparagus is still doing its seeding and all that. So I'm going to let it do its thing, and then there'll be more of it along the row. But people. Okay, and then back in the distance, that whole thing is my bay leaf. tree. Then I also have the apple tree is gone ballistic. Absolutely ballistic, which is great in a good way, right? Good way. Then we have our cherry tree, and there's not that many cherries this year, you guys. There's one little one up there trying to do stuff. Can you guys see that? Can you all see that? One little cherry. There's several up there. I just probably can't reach them because look at how far that thing goes. It's up there. This is what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. Artichoke. Hello. Hello, little friend. This is the first year that this artichoke plant, I had like 4 of them and they weren't doing so well. And so artichoke plant has decided he's going to artichoke. Or she, I'm sorry. Look at little buds down over there on the other side. But look at how beautiful. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this thing to be in full bloom. I also have some strawberries coming up. Little strawberries coming. Very excited. Have to get in here and do some weeding today. Luna's barking in the distance. I've got some majoram growing that's gotten fluffier. Again, more weeding. And then there's that purple sage. And at first there wasn't very much of that purple sage. But now, I don't know what she's barking at. Yeah, stuff is happening. Peaches are starting to come up. Look at those beautiful peaches. They're gonna be beautiful. They're big, huge frost peaches. They're gonna get really huge. And then here are the little wild strawberries. These are native to the island here, and they only get that big, and they're flippin' huge. Absolute, huge in flavor is what I say. They only get that big, but they can. Let me see if I can get in there again so you guys can see it. Ooh, there you go. Little tiny strawberry, but huge on flavor. They're massive. And then look at those cute little strawberry flowers. So cute. All right, let's get inside and let's talk bay. Let's talk about bay. All right, coming back over here. So bay, look at these big old stalks of bay. And look at how big that tree goes up there. Just huge. A lot bigger than when we first moved in. It was just at the side here, just at the top is what it was. So it has really grown, really grown. And so I'm gonna cut off some of these trimmings here, and that way it will give some light to the underbrush, the undergrowth, the other bushes and things. I've got a beautiful Thai basil there. I've got some other basil there. And apparently I've got some more sage down there because it's starting to do its thing. So trimming today. I even have a little lavender that's trying to make it. So yes, let's chop. Let's chop and we'll go and discuss. Okay, we're inside. I have some sprigs here that I had already cut the last time we spoke, and I have been drying them out. And people have asked, what do I do, different in drying them out? Honestly, I just clip them, and I really just sort of, before I clip them, I offer some energy. I have an exchange with the plant. I honor it. I respect it. And then I give it its trim. And you may want to bring in ancestor or deity for that process if you wish. Obviously, I'm giving offering by taking care of the plant. So it's getting my energy, and it's also getting fertilizer, water, and various other things that I provide it. I also plant crystals. I put various crystals around certain plants depending on what type of energy I want to get from them in their dried or fresh form, if I'm applying those to recipes to eat or for certain spell work. So if I want a little bit of an oomph for bay, where we're going to talk about bay leaf or bay laurel, automatically gives in like an oomph to any type of spell work. Like it really has a very strong component, whether it's dry or whether it's fresh. So what I've done is to, I've got a little thing hanging off. Here, what I've done is actually planted tiger's eye, clear quartz and tiger's eye at the base of this plant, and you can see that it just shot up. It's super strong. It's holding the gates, not only in the front of my property for protection, but it just like zooms out, and you feel like you're kind of like, when you're standing underneath the bay tree, it feels like a protection umbrella. I don't know how else to put that. I don't know how else to put that. That's definitely a thing. Oh, hair. Anyhow, okay, what do I do to dry? I just chop and then I hang it upside down, or I put it even in my hanging fruit basket in the kitchen in a dry place. You don't want too much sun to get to them because it will kind of zap out their color. You don't want to do that. So dry place, hang them upside down or flat. You can also press them if you want them to be flat, because some people like to write on them, and that is something that we're going to talk about. So I've got some notes here. I want to talk to you a little bit about bay and how I use it. Obviously, you've seen how I've grown it and where it is in my magical garden, but I wanted to talk about some correspondences and things like that. Also, Google bay leaf or bay laurel, and you're going to get just a myriad of different websites, Pinterest, all that other stuff, and how to use bay in magical practices as well as for culinary. So the bay, or the Laurus nobilis, is associated with the sun, also element of fire, and Leo. It is also one of the favorite things that you could give for offering, a suitable offering for the deity Apollo, which I thought was really awesome. They did say that fresh or dry, it has a commanding energy. It really does. It really, really does. I've seen bay leaf on packages to arrive safely. I've seen it included in packages, almost similar to how some people will give a little piece of sage, you know, just a little sprig of sage in the bottom of your shopping bag at some metaphysical shops. That's something. I love to use it for a combination of things. For me, protection and also money. Those are the two big ones, you know, for financial gains and all that stuff. And also a boost of energy to some not mundane spells, but just kind of things, you know, if you're doing some spell work and you really want that oomph of energy, incorporate some bay. You can grind it up, you know, with a pestle and mortar. You could chop it up. You could bend it if you wanted to. And just like if you had a paper spell that you're doing and you would fold it inward or you fold it outward, depending on what you're trying to do with it. And I think you know what I'm talking about. If not, message me and we'll talk. You can also roll it either away from you or you can roll it towards you in that whole process. You can also dress candles with these. I have added these to a my evil eye candle that I used to make all the time. And it was just at the bottom, kind of curled up around the outside or the inside of the jar. And then I add the wax and the other stuff to it. So bay is just amazing. Another way that I use bay in the products that I used to sell was in my protection herb salt. I would do a rosemary and sage, white sage, grinding up of those herbs and adding energy to it. And then I would incorporate some bay if I wanted some more boost. So that's the thing. All right. Also, I love to add it to soups. Who doesn't love to add some bay to the soups? Now, it's not really digestible in its leaf form, so you need to break it down. You'd absolutely need to grind it or break it down. Or if you're just putting it in a soup and it calls for 2 bay leaves, you put it in the soup, and then when the soup is done and it's done doing its cooking and it's expelled its wonderful properties, then you just pick them out and then you put them to the side. Sometimes I dry them. Sometimes I use those. Sometimes I use those. And Luna is still yet with the barking, and I'm so sorry about that. She's just a dog. Can't help it. So I'm going to continue on. It has, here's a word, and you know me, I'm always going to say it wrong. It has mild anthropogenic properties, meaning that this can induce some visions. So if you are burning the bay, if you're using it as some type of smoking, cleansing, or things of that nature, or if you're added it to an incense for that extra oomph, make sure that you're opening a window, because you don't want to be like, ooh, with that whole situation. You don't want to do that. Most people put them under the pillow or in the pillowcase in a sachet, or just on its own, in order to get prophetic dreams, or induce prophetic dreaming. That is one thing that you could definitely do. The purification abilities, and I talked about this a little bit in regards to the salt. So you can pair it with salt and sage, and it's wonderful for that. It's absolutely wonderful that. But you can ground it, and you can add it to incense to give that bit of that oomph. But again, open a window. Absolutely open a window. Another wonderful thing that you can do, and I'm not sure if I have a gold leaf pin right now. I don't think I do. But you take a large bay leaf. Let's just snap one off of here. Take a large bay leaf here, and you can write on it. This is the back of the leaf where you can really see that vein, that big, kind of pronounced vein. Turn it over on this side where it's flatter and smoother, and you can actually write with a non-toxic pen, write on it in gold, metallic, or regular, whatever you want, regular pen. You can write on the bay leaf in regards to what you want to protect, if you want something to arrive safely and add it to your package, or if it's just a wish. So the bay is one of the main things that you're going to find when you research bay, is that it's called the wishing leaf. So you would write on what you want, as far as what you want your wish to be, or what you're trying to manifest, whether that be a new job, or extra money towards your paycheck, or paying off a bill, or safe travel. I use this a lot. I actually pack a bay leaf in my luggage, and also it's under my car floor mat. Love this stuff. I also have a little mini altar on the dash of my car, and I add bay leaf to it as well. So you're going to write on it there. You're going to write your wish right on there, and then you hold it in your hands. You visualize, and then you burn it. Off to the ether it goes. So that is a wonderful way to use bay. Easy way, very easy way. It's a very witch-friendly leaf. It really is. Let's see, talked about that, added it to incense or whatever. Here's what I thought was interesting. Being a type 2 diabetic that I am, and often stress, illness, all of those things, obviously bad eating, can elevate your blood sugars. So bay is actually sold all over the internet in capsule form, and it's highly potent. I mean, it's not just a couple of leaves. They grind it up, and it's several leaves. It's a higher quantity. They put it in capsules, and people eat these or take them daily in order to reduce blood sugar. Now, I'm going to say this. I am not a doctor. Not by any means. And I have to preface this, that if you're going to either use bay as a tea, if you're going to ingest it at all in a capsule, if you're going to do that type of thing, please, please, please check with your doctor first, because although it is wonderful and it has some great properties, you want to make sure that you're not allergic to it. There can be a myriad of allergic reactions that can happen with bay, from either a mild rash if you're using it as a poultice, or it can even induce anaphylactic shock if you are taking way too much of it and not under a doctor's care. So I just want to say that. So that is something. Allergic reactions can be something, but if you're interested in that type of thing like I am, I intend on talking to my doctor about it, and maybe doing a little bit more information research in regards to holistic medicine. So that's a thing. I think that's pretty much it that I have. I've just cut so many of those leaves because you saw that growth underneath, and my bay is starting to go this way and up. So I want to make sure that it continues that motion, and I'm going to be trimming. And let's see, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's really it. I mean, oh, it's not it. Okay, what also in my research I found that the Romans used to take bay leaf and they used to decorate. They would go one on top of each other. They would decorate themselves with bay. And they would kind of add it like almost like a boutonniere, if you would, for various protection and almost like an armor, like a protection armor, which I thought was really neat. So wouldn't it be cool to like add it to a hat, you know, like a feather in your cap, but add it to your cap. Like, look, I could totally do this today. You know, just stick it in there. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, maybe so. Just stick a little feather in my cap. What do you think? Too much? Not enough? All right. I love and leave you, and I hope that you enjoyed our little bay talk. Go get some bay and make your day great. Bye, you guys.